bullet journals, art projects, organized planner chic.
Well, hello planner babes, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. Well, first, I want to thank all my Patreon members who help make it possible to create videos like this. Well, thank you guys so much. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. Okay, you guys, it's time to start talking about our goals for 2021. Yes, 2020 is finally coming to an end, or probably has already come to an end by the time you see this video. I am so grateful. I know a lot of you guys are too. And so, yes, now we can look forward to a better year. I mean, I guess things could get worse, but I really doubt it. I think we're going to have a better year, just all around. Okay, so the first part of the video, the majority of it is going to be about my bullet journal, how I'm setting everything up and tracking all my goals, what those goals are and all of that. But then the last part will be this GoGirl Planner that I will talk about. They sent this to me, gosh, back in April, and I was waiting for them to have more in stock for me to give one away, and waiting for them to give me a coupon code to share with you guys. And I didn't hear back. I reached back with them. Of course, the pandemic happened, so I reached back out to them in September, like September the 2nd, and then 2 weeks later, around September the 19th, and I never heard back from them. But I am not angry at all. I think what happened is just the pandemic, and maybe the person who reached out to me for that no longer worked there. I didn't have anyone else that I could get in contact with, but I did want to honor that they sponsored this and sent this to me to review. So I'm going to do that at the end, and I'm going to use this for my Spanish, and we'll talk about that in my bullet journal. And then, at the end, I'll go over this so you guys can have a look-see and see if it's something you might be interested in when you want something that is already set up because you just need it to function for one purpose. Okay, so we will get to that at the end, you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and look in here. So if you haven't been watching my videos to set up for the new year, I am using a Hobonichi plain notebook for my bullet journal. I got 2 half years basically for 2021, and I'm loving it because I love Tomoe River paper, but this is my first time actually bullet journaling in a Hobonichi. Okay, so we're going to go to my goals, which are here in my index on pages 6 and 7. Which, is one of the blessings of a bullet journal, having that index or table of contents. So here we go. Oops, I didn't need you there, but I did need the other stickies. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you guys. Okay, there we go. So I divide my goals. I started doing this last year, and I'll put that video across the screen for you guys. But I started dividing my goals and everything by kind of my person, me as an individual, and then by me as a business owner. Of course, they're both me, but kind of the things that I focus on with my business are specific, and the things that I focus on with me as just a person, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, that kind of thing. I divide those up. That just really works for me. And so in terms of goals, I want to encourage you always to start off with a vision statement, a mission statement, and a slogan. So I just changed those for my business just a tiny bit. I changed a couple of words that would work a little bit better for me. But for the personal, it's pretty much the same for this year, but my focus areas under the mission are a little bit different. So I'll explain that. Okay, so the vision, the way I see a vision is it is where you are, what you will look like, what your life will be like when you have arrived, when everything that you wanted to be as a person in this case, or accomplish as a business person, that all those things are fulfilled, because that's what you're striving for. And it's kind of the why. Why am I doing these things that I'm doing in my life? Am I doing it because it's what's expected of me by other people, or am I doing it because I feel like it's what God is calling me to do? Do I even want to do it? So it's really important to really think about what do you want your life to represent? And so for me on the vision, and also I want to say that this doesn't have to be a one sentence. Your mission statement, your slogan, those are brief, but you can have a paragraph or a few lines for your vision because it's a big picture, right? So I put, for me, place nothing and no one above the Blessed Trinity, because I'm a Christian, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So place nothing and no one above the Blessed Trinity. Surrender my will to God in all things, doing every task to the glory of my Lord, serving others with love and patience, inviting the lost to call upon the name of Jesus. So ultimately, I want my life to always be consistently representing those things for God, and loving people. Now, I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to get to a place where I completely fulfill that until I am in heaven with my Savior. So then the mission is, what specifically at this season in my life do I want to be doing that fulfills that vision, that gets me closer to that vision? And so for me, and this was basically the same last year, just my focus areas, the details are different. So my mission is to help trauma victims become free of guilt and shame, serve my family, friends, church, and neighbors with the love of Christ. Okay, so that fits in with the vision, right? I'm loving God, I'm loving people, and I'm really engaging in being connected to people. And then my slogan is trusting in Jesus one day at a time, because this life is a one day at a time battle. It is not always great. Sometimes it's really hard, and sometimes we want things to resolve themselves immediately, and most of the time they do not. So taking it one day at a time means I can complete that day, trust God, even if I fail trusting Him that day. The next day, His mercies are new. They're new every morning, and I got that day. All right. So then my goals is, what is the details? We've got the mission. Okay, what are the details? How am I actually going to be serving people, and how am I actually going to be helping trauma victims and all that good stuff? So I break those down by spiritual, physical, family, financial, and this year I added education. So normally it's just these four: physically, spiritually, family, finances. I may not every year have an educational thing, but maybe I will, since I added it this year. So we'll see. That might be a big change going forward. So on spiritual, I put down finish the advanced CR steps. So my husband and I are over the Celebrate Recovery Ministry at our church, if you're unaware. And when you go through the steps for Celebrate Recovery, which can be for any hurt, habit, or hang up, it doesn't have to have anything to do with an addiction of any kind. Basically in life, we all have different types of addictions. Some of those can be codependency, it can be an eating disorder, it can be drugs, alcohol, it can just be life issues. For me, it was PTSD, and I lead a small group for PTSD. And so we have 4 books that take you through the 12 steps. Well, after that, if you want to continue through books that study, they have books 5 through 8. And that is for people who've already completed the 12 steps and who want to just continue working those same type of principles. We still work them every week at Celebrate Recovery as we help other people through the steps, but you can do another set of steps that you work with other people who've already completed the 12 steps. So my sponsor and I started doing those books 5 through 8 in 2020, but because the year was crazy, there were times we weren't able to meet, and we have not finished those. So I need to continue. We've only finished all of book 5. We're in book 6. So I put down to complete those. That helps me continue to stay healthy, and it helps me to help other people as I mentor or sponsor them and teach and do lessons and all that good stuff. And again, that fits in with my mission. All right, and then give my testimony at Celebrate Recovery. I'm actually going to be giving my testimony on January the 15th, so I will be able to check off that box soon. Read the Bible in chronological order in 1 year. So I have read all of the Bible. It has definitely taken me more than 1 year, and I've read different versions, but I've never read the Bible in chronological order, not in its entirety. And I want to try to do that in a year. And I'm going to try to focus on just reading, not breaking down the study for that, because that's what takes me so long, is I find something that I want to study further and I go down that rabbit hole. And so this year I just want to complete it in order. So we'll see. Well, I know I can do it. I know I can do it. All right. And then I have physical. Actually, I should break it down this way. So those are the 3 things. I always try not to do more than 3 things in an area so that I don't set myself up for failure. And I try to make sure there are things that I know will fit in with my routines and schedule. So I already go to Celebrate Recovery. I already have a sponsor that we meet before a CR every other week. To do that, I am writing my testimony, starting to work on it. I actually did it verbally with both of my kids individually, so I just need to write it out so it's shorter, and I'll show you those steps and all of that. And then my reading the Bible, I'm just going to make that my Bible time instead of the Bible study that I currently do. All right, and then accountability partners. So I encourage everyone to have accountability partners. This is someone who will help you stay on track, who will hold you to the fire when you get lazy, and who will help you evaluate also whether or not this is something you really want to do. Why are you doing it? And you should be able to answer that. And sometimes you find as you get started that this is really not something I really want to do. I thought I wanted to do it, but now I see I think I want to do something else. So they help you with that. So I have accountability partners that I've asked who have answered. Of course, that person has to be willing to hold you accountable in that area. So I've got Carol for my testimony, and she's been my accountability partner for that. Kelly for advanced CR books, because she is the person I do them with. And then my friend Nawasa for my Bible reading plan. And Nawasa, when I asked her, she said, yes, I will, as long as you won't, how did she word it? She basically said, as long as I won't put pressure on myself to meet it by the end of the year. So this is something I wanted to also share. I shared this last year, that having goals established doesn't mean that you're going to meet all of them. Like, in all likelihood, I'm not going to be able to check every single box on here for each of these areas, personal and business, as being completely done. But I am tracking my progress for all of them, and I will be able to see how far I've come that I would otherwise not been able to do if I had not established these goals. So it's not about perfectionism, which is the way that I used to be. I am not that way. So my goals for 2020, we've still got 2 days left. So in my, I'll do another video, or in another video, I will show you guys that those are complete, or how they turned out. And that will be a flip through of my last 2020 bullet journal. And so you'll be able to see that I got some things I only projected to get, let's say 3 things accomplished, but then I did like 10 in that category, for instance. But then I didn't reach exactly all the goals in another area, but I got really, really close. So that, that is what it's all about. It's about growth, okay? So then on physical, I've got 3 things that I want to do. So each year that tends out turns out to be different. So I had, for instance, last year, I wanted to make sure I did yoga at least 3 times a week. I've changed that to a different number this year. I evaluated my sleep hours. Instead of focusing on a set time that I got up and went to bed, I focused on making sure I got about 8 hours of sleep. But I found that it works better for me if I have a set schedule, which is a challenge when you work for yourself. But I found it works out better for me if I go to bed at the same time and I get up at the same time. And so for my goals physically, I put to rise in bed at the same time daily, and I set a percentage goal. So 90% of the time, and I'll be tracking that and you'll see. Do yoga 5 times per week, 85% of the time. And then eat only one high carb meal per week 80% of the time. So you see, I gave that 80%. That's like a really low B. Depending on where you are, that's not even a B. So I just didn't want to hold myself too high of a standard on that, because I do like me some carbs. So, but I know that they're not good for me. They cause a lot of inflammation, which I already have in my body. So I put that at 80%. So I think I can do that. I'm gonna try, okay? And then my accountability partners for all 3 of those areas is my brother Keith, who happens to be a nurse and who I already talk to every Wednesday. So that fits with my schedule in terms of talking to him. Nawasa, we text, and but we'll be talking probably on the phone a little bit about this. And like I said, I already see Carol and Kelly at CR, and we talk as part of CR leadership. All right, so then for family, we were supposed to go on 3 different trips in 2020, but because of the pandemic, we didn't get to go on any of them. But we are planning on going to Hawaii this year with the Riles family, my husband's side of the family, everybody. We will be going in at the end of June, first part of July. So my mother-in-law, who's in her 80s, will definitely have her vaccine by then, and some of us hopefully will have it by then, but we plan on going. And then my son has applied for a couple of graduate schools in Canada, and he is a superb, excellent. I'm not just I'm not exaggerating because he's my son. He really is. He is an exceptional student, a very intelligent individual. I would be surprised if one or not both of those schools did not accept him into their programs for linguistics. Plus, he actually got a Research and Logistics Award, I think is the title of it, for his bachelor's degree, which was amazing. So, and got money for that. So he is planning on going, so to be around August, and I will help him get set up in Canada. And then my parents plan to come and visit in February, March. So they should have the vaccine because they're in. My dad is 80. He'll be 81. Oh my goodness, Daddy, he'll be 81. That's a blessing in January. And my mom will be 76 in February. So they should have the vaccine. And so those are the family trips. 2 that I will go to, 1 that I will host, and there's a possibility that I'll do a weekend one also with Nawasa. So Nawasa, I'm asking you publicly in this video, let's work out sometime in 2021 to do at least a weekend trip, whether I go there to where you are or you come here to where I am. All right, and so tentative dates, my husband has to look up those dates for me for Hawaii. In Canada, I just penciled in toward the end of August, and then my parents, I will write those dates whenever I get them from them. All right, and don't be afraid to pencil things in. So this is financial, but I'm not going to share that because it involves my husband and other people, and so it's not just pertinent to me. And then under educational, I have complete 1 Spanish course. So if you're not familiar, I had 2 years of Spanish in high school, and then when I got my bachelor's degree in journalism and broadcasting with an emphasis in public relations, I also got a minor in Spanish. And then I used to speak it at a Spanish speaking church. I used to lead praise and worship in Spanish and all that. And then I got away from practicing it and conversing in the language. I can still read it really well, but I haven't in years been practicing talking to people. I have used it when I've gotten places where I needed to speak because there wasn't an English speaker, and I made it just fine, but it was still work. So, and I've been saying the last couple of years that I'm going to work on it, and I've dabbled in it. Like every time I post on my Instagram stories, I always post it in the text in Spanish as well, but I haven't really been, immersing myself in it. So I have a goal for this year to do that. Exactly. So I want to complete one Spanish course. I'm just going to go back to the beginning and go back over everything and then just progress in terms of book work and audio work with CDs and that kind of stuff. I ordered the books, so they're on their way. They should be here on the 31st. And then I'm going to watch TV in Spanish or any entertainment. So it could be news, it can be YouTube, it can be Netflix, videos, TV, whatever, that I'm going to do all of that only in Spanish Monday through Friday, starting January 2nd. And then I'm going to attend one Poder in Action event per month or go to their office and volunteer per month. So that is an organization here in the Phoenix Metro that I can practice just being in that community regularly. Okay, and so then I asked my friend Romita, who speaks a few different languages, not Spanish, but she's really good and interested in languages and knows some, and I asked her to be my accountability partner for all three of these areas. So we've already talked. We decided that every Saturday at 3:30 she's going to call me and check on my status. All right, so then this is how I am tracking those things. So I have a box, as you saw there, for what I said I'm going to do. And then here is how I'm tracking. So for giving my testimony, it's scheduled for January 15th. And so I just put boxes for all the different things. I'll check off the date, the outline. I've got to do my outline, draft, time it, because it shouldn't be longer than really 20 to 25 minutes. Finalize it after I've timed it because it might be too long, and then present it. And then I can check off the testimony box. And then for the CR books, this way I can really track my progress if we still don't get finished in 2021. So we did book 5 or crossed that off, and these lessons, and then I don't know why I started lesson 7, but yeah. And then book 6, 7, and 8. And then these are all the lessons. It's 25 lessons that complete the entire set of books 5 through 8. And then here for Read the Chronological Bible in 1 year, I'm also actually going to print off this list that I found online that has the daily readings. I don't have to buy a separate Bible for that. And then I'm just going to check off each week as I complete whatever I was supposed to read for that week. So if I have a day that I didn't finish, I'm not going to check off that first week until I finish all of the stuff for that week. And that way I can check my progress. If I don't finish through the year, I can see how far I went. Then physical activity, I put the different areas here for my sleep schedule, yoga, and carbs. And then I will just check, I'll put on here the number of days that I met my sleep schedule, the number of days I did yoga, and the number of days, not days. Yes, number of days that I had high carb meals, and then that will be for each week for 52 weeks. And then for Spanish, I have the same thing for those categories, but it's English entertainment during the week. So if I had entertainment in English, which I'm not supposed to, Monday through Friday, then I have to mark if I did, how many times. And then if I completed the assignments for the week, I'll mark that. And then for Poder in Action events, I just put 12 boxes here for each month, and I'll check as I do an event for that month. And then this is the financial stuff that I had to cover up. And then for travel, I just set up a little header here for all of the months. All of the trips. So Hawaii, Canada, and Arizona. And if I do another one, I've got a space right there. So I didn't mean to put that line across there, but I might not need that much space. So I decided rather than whiting it out, just leave it. Oh, and also I cut this page out of the back of the book because I forgot to have a place to track everything, and I didn't want it to be back somewhere where I had to flip because I knew it was a good chance that I wouldn't do that. So I went ahead and taped in this little page. Okay, so then for my business stuff, right here we go. I've got my vision: sharing paper planning and journaling solutions for artistic users, allowing for the setting, tracking, and reaching of goals, demonstrating budget-friendly DIY projects for fun, function, and anxiety relief, resulting in clarity of purpose, focus, and direction. So I did change some wording on there. I think I changed the wording for this part. So it says demonstrating budget-friendly DIY projects for fun, function, and anxiety relief, because it was worded a little bit different before. And I don't think I had budget-friendly in there or fun for fun. And then I underlined what basically the summation of why I want to do all these things is that it results in clarity of purpose, focus, and direction for me and for other people. All right, and then under the mission, I added something. I just put an arrow there. So publish social media and Patreon content on paper planning, journaling, and DIYs. And I think I had something else on here too a little bit. So yeah, publish social media and Patreon content on paper planning, journaling, and DIYs. I don't think DIYs was on there before. And then my slogan is growth through creativity. And so slogans, you do want to be really short so you can remember them. So the personal one is trusting in Jesus one day at a time. My slogan for business is growth through creativity. All right. And then for my goals here, I break them up by social media, Patreon, and this time I added sponsorship. So here for social media, I have this little bitty, hold it up. I have this little bitty chart right here where I have the different areas: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the Organized Planner Chic, Facebook, Organized Planner Chic Crew, Facebook, Phoenix Planner Friends for Christ, my YouTube subs, my YouTube watch time hours in a 1 year period, and my YouTube average views per month. And then I just put all of the months here. And then I have under Patreon, I have my tiers. So I have 3 tiers now. I think I added the third one last year: Dapper, Stylish, and Fly. And then what my goal is. So I am going over which numbers, what I want my ultimate goal numbers to be here at the top. With my husband, I'm just going to have him kind of look at how I did last year and the year before to help me establish good numbers that will stretch me, but that won't be so far that I let myself down. I set myself up for failure. And he's a statistician. So I'm going to see if he can help with that. Otherwise, I'll just do like I've done, where I think this will stretch me, but I think it will not be too far extending myself, because I've done it in the past. He hasn't helped me with that. And then he would have, I just didn't ask him. And then under Patreon, I added a couple of goals that I felt would help, because I've grown. I've got 12 now, and I want to kind of make the Patreon income match closer to the YouTube. So, and maybe even exceed it at some point, because if these wonderful people are so committed, it's awesome that they support what you do, and you guys are awesome and you support what I do. So anytime you like, you comment, you share, it makes a huge difference, because that's how YouTube evaluates how to pay you. But YouTube does that through ads. And so I don't know, I don't decide when there's going to be an ad. I do say I'm open to having ads in all these places, but YouTube and the advertisers decide whether or not they're going to put an ad there. And I don't control whether or not someone clicks on that ad and I actually earn any revenue. And so this is not consistent. It's a blessing, but it's not consistent. I don't know from one month to the next if I'm going to earn any money. Usually right now I earn some money about every other month, but it just depends. There's high seasons and there's low seasons, but this, as long as a person is a Patreon member, I know I'm going to get that money every month. And so I put publish next month's schedule before the current month ends 90% of the time, because a lot of times I don't publish the schedule until the new month has gotten here. So I want to be consistent about that 90% of the time, because I really want to serve everyone well, you guys and my Patreon members. And then I put to keep to the schedule 85% of the time. So my schedule is always tentative for the things, for the dates that I deliver the things that I am committed to giving my Patreon members. But some things take longer, things happen, you get sick, whatever. And so I didn't want to set that too high, but I set it at 85%. And then celebrate birthdays. So I always celebrate birthdays on social media with my Facebook groups, but I want to start doing that with my Patreon members as well. So I'm just going to check off as I do that. I put 12 boxes there. So here I just put, for next month's schedule, I just put a box, but I am going to track that each month. And so I have that down here at the bottom. So new schedule before the month ends, and current schedule, keep to that. I put a box for each one of those for the 12 months. And so I'll put the percentages on there and we'll see how that turns out. And then here for sponsorships, I believe I want to say I had 4, but I can only think of 3 right now because I didn't write. I remember them in my brain and they're in my emails. But I want to have at least 6 for 2021. And so I'll put who the sponsor is and what they want me to do, and what benefit my YouTubers will get from it, my viewers, my people who watch the videos, my subscribers and everyone. And yeah, so I'll do that hopefully 6 times. And then that is it for that, you guys. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys the GoGirl Planner that I'm going to use for my educational goals for Spanish. Okay, you guys, here she is. This is a really beautiful planner. This color is gorgeous. They have a number of different colors there on the website, and I'll put that website across the screen for you guys and in the description below. Beautiful, really nice. It feels nice. The color is nice, and it has a nice little symbol on there. I know sometimes people don't like that. They want it to just be plain, and they can add a sticker. You can still add a sticker to this, but this is raised. It is embossed in there. And it has 3 elastics, not elastics, 3 ribbons. And we'll look at that a little bit closer in here. But this has a pink, a blue, and a purple, a turquoise and a purple. So this is a really beautiful turquoise. It has a pin loop. And I've got my Pigma Micron in there, and it has a little paper in here that says how to use this planner. So it's basically for setting your goals, and you'll see that it's really detailed in here, and this is really nice to show people how they can use it. So I think that's a great, excellent idea. And then it has kind of, to me, sort of a grayish white. It is bright, but when I put it against something that's really bright white, it actually has sort of a grayish tone. And I've just found that I am really particular about the color of paper. That's just me. It has no bearing on this planner. So it is a white, but kind of a grayish white tint. Yeah, so it's got a place there where you can put all your contact information and a place for your reward. And then I'm turning these pages slowly because for some reason when I turn these white pages, my planner wants to get all blurry, and ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, so then here on the left side, it has my life's big picture. And because I'm using this for Spanish, I'm going to write in there basically that I'm doing that because, or I'm using this planner. Or not, that's not what I'm doing. I'm getting better at my Spanish. I'm working on my fluency because I want to reach more people. I can communicate with more people, love on more people, help more people speaking another language, okay? So, but it's generally for the big picture, which is the vision that I talked about in my bullet journal. What is your vision? And then it has life goals right here. So it says life, what does that say? Life area. Okay, and it is in a really cursive, tiny print right there, but it says life area, and then it's broken down by health, fitness, and beauty, family, friends, and romance, career, business, and study, fun, recreation, and hobbies, heart and spiritual, financial, and personal development. So this is like for your whole life. And then you put what I want, and you've got 3 sections. Again, 3 is the best way to go, and the date that you've accomplished it by. I actually have a bullet journal that's called my bucket list bullet journal that I need to revisit. All right, turn slowly, Lucy. Okay, then we have the top 5 goals for this year. So remember, we talked about in my bullet journal about your big vision, and then your mission is what you want to be working on, what area you're going to work on this year. So then you've got the goals and the major action steps to make these things happen. All right. And then mind mapping, which is cool. I do love mind mapping. It's where you draw in a circle and you write kind of a topic, focus area, and then you draw these lines out and you brainstorm all around that to help you figure out what you want your goals to be, for instance. Okay, or even if you're like planning a trip, you can do that. You can do that for anything. And then we slowly turn the next page. Yeah, these are nice thick pages. They're not numbered. Let me see if they're numbered in here. Nope, they are not numbered. And then we come to my strategy. So you put in skills and habits you need to achieve your goals, bad habits that you need to change, positive people to have in your life, and negative people to not have. Your morning routines, which these are in my bullet journal as well. If you haven't watched it, just check out my 2021 bullet journal setup. All of my routines, what I'm grateful for, and affirmations. And my affirmations and gratitude stuff is in my Bible study and prayer journals. All right. And then you come to monthly spreads. So what I do love about this is that it is blank. And the reason why I'm using this instead of my bullet journal for Spanish in particular is because I feel like I don't want to have to recreate anything. I don't want to have to draw anything for Spanish because it's going to be a real commitment that's going to take a lot of determination to do the hard parts. And if I have to do anything else, I'm probably not going to do it. So I'm going to use this not to decorate at all. It is solely to function for Spanish only. And so that is going to really work for me, I think, because y'all know I love to bullet journal. All right. And so then I will have to write out the days of the month, but that takes, like 60 seconds. And then you've got this month's goals like I do in my bullet journal. I have my goals for the month, but I have them broken up in all the areas of personal and business. And then you've got life balance goals. Yeah. And then that's there for the 12 months of the year. And then we go to the weekly pages. Now, I don't like that the weekly pages are separated. It just doesn't function well for me. So that's one of the things I love about bullet journaling is you can design your planner exactly the way you want it to be. So I'm trying to get through to the last of the monthly pages. Okay, so then we get to the weekly pages here. And then you've got on the left side the days of the week. And then on the right, which I like that this is a hybrid sort of between bullet journaling and regular planning, you've got the habit tracker, the week's progress, the to-do list. And then here you've got some dot grid space. And then that's for all 52 weeks of the year. And then let's get to the end of that's a lot of weeks. I can get there. I'm going to get there in a minute and hope my camera doesn't get blurry. All right, let's turn that slowly. And I think I'm going to get there. Okay, and then we get to quite a few dot grid pages. So then you can sort of bullet journal here in the back. Trying to see if I can show you guys about how many pages are like that. Just show you the thickness of it. So yeah, so about that many dot grid pages. So that's a good number. Yeah. And then it's got these really beautiful ribbons. These are so pretty. That's gorgeous. And then here in the back, it's got some information on warranty. So within 60 days, you can get you can work out a 100% refund. They ask to do a product review, and then they have a set of stickers. These are really pretty. So this is a beautiful, 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 beautiful book. So if you guys are interested in having something that you can dedicate just to a particular function, or if you just want to use it for both things because you've got dot grid pages there in the back, it might be a sort of best of both worlds for you guys. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it inspired you for setting and tracking your goals for 2021. If you did enjoy today's video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. All of my subscribers are such a blessing to me, and all of my viewers. You don't have to subscribe, but it helps a bunch. So please like, comment, and share. It just really helps my channel a lot, and it helps me to be able to give you guys more videos. All right, and then if you are interested in following me on Instagram to see all of my creative ventures and adventures, just go to @OrganizedPlannerChic. I have 2 Facebook groups. The one for anyone around the world is called Organized Planner Chic Crew, and there we do giveaways, and we try to stay in touch just about every day with all different types of posts. And then the one for local folk is Phoenix Planner Friends for Christ on Facebook as well. And then if you are interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. And until next time, everyone, happy planning.